Thanks again for staying with us on the program this morning on ITV. We call it TMI. We hope you're enjoying the program so far. I was particularly excited by that special report put together by Victor Ario and Caroline Okonji on the overhead bridge at the University of Benin main gate. And there's a young man saying, you know, we Nigerians, we really don't like to do things on our own except we are pushed. And once that push is there, that's when we respond. And it gives me concern because a society can't run that way. I mean, you know the right thing to do, do it. All right, don't wait to be pushed. So if such a young guy has that mindset, just imagine what happens when he grows up, becomes more matured, and is given leadership responsibility. I mean, he just would wait until workers are protesting, burning tires, and doing all kinds of things before he will be moved to take action. And that brings us to the focus of our discussion this morning, which is on the security challenges in the country right now and the level of response that we have seen and how and what we need to do to find lasting solutions to these security challenges. It looks like for many people, the death of the daughter of a Fenfair leader, Pa Fasoranti, talking about the lady that was killed recently, more or less like a watershed now in terms of the activities of herdsmen. But we've also seen the reaction from Mietiala saying they are not comfortable with the description that the killers are herdsmen. And they feel that, you know, the media and certain actors in the political space are not doing justice to the issue, even though they condemn it, all right? And then we've seen the APC leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, also saying that this incident should not be politicized, all right? And then, of course, the vice president saying, with the trends of things now, it means we should have the army patrol our highways to put these guys in check. But all of these reactions that we have seen, for some analysts, have not really addressed the core issues as they ought to be to find a lasting solution to this menace. But let's get the thoughts and opinions of our panelists today on the program. From my immediate left, let me thank very specially a member of Owedo Local Government Legislative Arm. I'd like to thank very specially our very own comrade, Harrison Izeko. Many thanks for keeping a date with us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Let me also welcome to the studio a member of Vigilante Association of Nigeria, Victor Aidonoje. He's been here before, has so much information as it relates to security at the grassroots using the model of Vigilante Group. Victor, many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, viewers.
And I also have in the studio as well, public affairs commentator, politician, a representative of the masses. I'd like to thank very especially Comrade Roy Oriabo. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let me thank very especially a former warlord in the jungle, but of course he's now using his knowledge and skills to drive peace and development in the Niger Delta region. Let me thank very especially the President, South-South Solidarity Movement. He's also a member of Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF. Big thanks to Don Ben Doyega. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Very long time.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Thank you for coming on the show.
Happy New Year.
That's okay. That's okay.
Shorter from the creeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't get out of hand.
Okay, okay.
Don't see me.
All right, all right. So that we can maintain and sustain the peace. Okay, let's start off by the purpose, the thing really of this interaction is what more can we do that we haven't done to find solution to this problem. in the social media, a whole lot of stories are flying around. There's a particular one that talked about the pre-2015 election, how there were plans and move to get the former president out of office at all cost, and as such, some mercenaries were hired, and then they got to the country, they were trained, they were protected, given templates to work with, and now these guys are done with the job. Promises made were never kept, and so in the respective camps where they are placed, these guys are hungry, and so they are finding ways to make ends meet, and they are trying to, on their own, find a way to make ends meet. That's why we're seeing a whole lot of violence. But we know that in recent times, we've heard, we've seen contradictory comments, even from the highest authority in this country over this issue. So let's begin. Harrison, what do you make of the level of response in dealing with this issue so far? I mean, just this morning I saw in the papers another 10 people killed in Katsina State, several others injured in that state, while the families of those bereaved in Ondo State are yet to recover. More families are being subjected to this kind of unfortunate incident in Katsina State.
Well, first of all, let me sympathize with those who lost their loved ones on these whole issues that have been going on. I think that it's a very big issue. And if we feel that because we are not directly affected now, we are not part of it, I think we are joking. The issue is that on the side of the government, I think they have done a lot. But what they have done, for me, have not actually translated to the root cause. Yes, it's clear. The president is commander-in-chief of forces and is the chief security officer of this country. And of course, he will not go to the scene of crime or the creek to go and defend the country. The security agencies are there. And these persons, over the time, they have been mobilized. They have come out to tell us that they have done this, they have done that, they have done this. But at the end of the day, we found out that as they try to work on one area, others come up. The issue of Boko Haram for men, it's like even died down now. The SB have taken over everywhere. And this is no longer happening in a particular area. The West, the South, just name it. And I think that the security agencies need to do more. If the current chief of army staff cannot actually defend this nation, I think it should be shown the way out. Because this killing is no longer, nobody should bring politics into this. Because when they want to attack, they don't ask for things, they don't ask for PDP, they attack. When they are on the road, they don't know who's coming. Everybody is a victim. So on that note, we must come back home and see how we can actually look at the root cause of all this problem. You see, you cannot bring somebody from the north to come and fight security in the south, and you think can do it effectively. Some of these bushes where these people are actually operating, there is no forest within this country that doesn't belong to a community. People live around there. They are found in this place over the years. They know what to do. I remember when I was growing up, in my father's house there is no fence. I can go through the front door. I can go and come back to Lagos. Nobody asks you. Because you come back, you see, you boss, you just can't move it. And when you are coming to the house to do anything, we know what to do. We having a cousin who was very stubborn at that time. Every time police used to look for him, they will not see him. Because the guy know where to follow. He not the boss. By the time he just joined, he'll be told that the guy don't move. So we need to come back home and begin to work with our local officials. Thank God we have one of them here. Okay. And the issue of state police. You see, people try to play politics. That is going to be a solution to most of this problem. You get people locally, you train them locally, you give them, they know the area, they know the terrain, and they'll begin to police these people. Yes, you live in the forest. You did not fly to that place. Well, the information that was saying that some of these people were trained, they brought God election and all that, I don't know how true is that. But if that is true, those who brought them know them. And they also know the location they took them to.
Yeah.
They should please go and help us bring them out, because it's no longer a joking issue.
Yeah.
Today you can travel through Bini Abuja. If you are traveling around the Okada area, there's a Beseda, it's a problem. People are traveling, until they come back, you are praying. It's not everybody that can fly or go through the air.
Yeah.
We are in this country where somebody was in hold up.
Yes.
Hold up. And because he was going somewhere, the time was being delayed, he ordered the private to come and pick him up. Why can't Nigerians, the government, think of what to do? All this foreign, let's put surveillance in this way. Let's look at this. We are these people. They are not speaking for goodness sake.
They are human beings.
They are human beings. When we hear, they just rush to the road, they kill people, they adopt people, and they are demanding for ransom. They are using call phones to call. Are we saying that our security agencies cannot actually track those lines?
Those lines.
Something is wrong somewhere. Because if you play politics with security, it will get to you. Okay. Those who live in the glass house should not trust them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you absolutely. Let me get Victor involved here, because you're an active participant in the vigilante structures put in place. What's your ideal way to tackle this menace? I mean, it just keeps growing by the day in terms of the casualty figures. Yeah.
Good morning, viewers. Most have not been done. The grassroots must be looked into properly. The security agencies are not ready to work with the vigilantes or the OPC. They are all the terrain, according to my co-panelist. John said that we know all the routes of any community. Most of the states have recruited, just recently, Kano State recruited 500 vigilantes. 500, and they're on payroll. Enugu State, some states are being empowered, the vigilantes are being empowered, but at those states, right from the onset, we have not been recognized. We have written several letters, but still we are not being called. But on our own, it's a voluntary organization. We spend so much individually. I told you the last time I came, my car battery was stolen. Up to now, the car is down. I have not been helped. That is by the roadside. Yeah. My advice to state governors or the CPs, the best CP we have worked with in Edo State is Samuel. We know his office very well. We don't book for appointments. We just go to his office and we meet one-on-one with OCSIB that year, Okoye. He's very good man. He's down to earth. The rest that have been coming to Edo State, we have written several letters. We are not being invited. One of them once told us that we have many factions of VGN. You don't play politics with people's life. If the main aim of all the vigilantes is saying no to crime, forget the factions now. Call all of them. Just call all of them. Talk to them. What is your problem? What do you want? All we are saying is not much. It's not even salary. We want to show our talent what we can do. Yeah. There's nobody we can't challenge. Most DPOs, like my boys at Akoko Edo, the commander is doing very good job there. Imagine a policeman with AK-47. We call our boys and say the robbers or kidnappers are here, they took care. They'll wait for us to go and inside the bush,
confront them
with nothing, and all our answer be says. Ekai, chairman, is VG officer. He's gone now, he's being seized. Foreign barrel gone, he's in state CID.
Why was he seized?
Because a lady was caught, she was caught selling granite, bullets. So she was now interviewed.
She was selling. Was she selling granite?
Sorry, I mean bullet. Yes. She was selling. She was caught selling bullets.
Okay.
So she was arrested. She was arrested, and the police now asked her, who do you sell to? The customers you sell to. The boy's house was invaded between 5-6 a.m. He explained that, see, I'm using it. I'm a vigilante officer. He just came back from his bait that morning on our VGM polo.
Is he registered with an ID card and all of that?
He's registered.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
We are vigilante federal group of Nigeria. We are federal body registered. Okay. Our headquarters is in Abuja and Kaduna. Okay. We are well known all over the 36 states. Okay. So he was arrested. The gun is there. He went to Oko. He served. And he just came back now. But he's still working. That did not discourage him
from doing
that because we know what we can do.
So you are saying that if we allow the vigilante group to function,
that is it, sir.
These issues can be dealt.
It will be stopped. Finally, seriously, because our boys are very good. They are good to go. We are being trained by the police, DSS, and army, and there's another training coming up recently. Anytime from now in police college here. So we are being trained. We have all the skills. Okay,
let me pause you. I'll come back to you.
Right.
Roy, would you say we've allowed politics to dominate finding a lasting solution to this menace of security, particularly herdsmen attacks?
Definitely. The political dimension have been a source of fear for us sincerely. Because we always bothered about the political implications and the political evaluation without looking at the issue. The issue of insecurity is a social problem. Those who can formulate direction and workable way are the social doctors. With Nigeria, a country like United States at the time, armed robbery and kidnapping was very rampant. The government said, what are the issues? We said, these are social issues. And he employed the services of social doctors to formulate a policy for the United States government. You can't go to US and talk about armed robbery. You can't hear, before you hear of kidnapping, you know what that means. Therefore, these are organizations and societies that are taking ahead. But in this part of the world, we look at the political dimension. The matter you see, because the daughter of a prominent Nigerian now lost her life as a result of the heartless disposition of these marauders. Now it's not a subject matter. The lives of Joshua, the lives of Osamu that have been killed in Okwodwa, never told they are not bothered about that. That will tell you the kind of society we find ourselves. But I believe, as a man, as the voice of the commoner, we cannot continue to lament over all these issues. I'll continue to say, we have to formulate the way forward. And one of the best ways we can handle this issue, it is to localize our security networking. One, because the man who stays in the village, no matter how smart you might be, Ezekiel cannot come to Okwodwa and know the ceremony. How? It's not possible.
It's not.
How? You understand me? Therefore, that's why I believe we should localize this whole system. And that's the reason why I'm very, very disturbed when my brother here was saying, despite the effort they are investing. But I must also correct him that Edo State, if we have to use Edo State as a case study, yes, let's give it to some of the local government. I'm aware in this and Southeast that the vigilante, the local government administration is taking good care of them. I'm aware. And I believe that you are also aware. Therefore, you cannot speak totally that in Edo State we are not doing it. Even if we are to look at Edo State generally, the present administration in Edo State is also doing with test of security net. You can see the way you have localized it. You see those guys that were bicycle, those guys within that framework are also doing this. This is a product of government who is taking. But at the federal level, things are not being done. There is no effort as far as I'm concerned, with due respect to those who are there. Because if there is effort, we're supposed to be seeing what they are doing. Now we are not seeing it. There is no place you go in this country now that you are safe. If you are going to the farm, it's even more dangerous. If you want to travel from Benin to Lagos, as my brother said, you have to undergo fasting and prayer. If you are going to Abuja from here, it's also a very terrible terrain. Therefore, the way forward is, one, let's localize the networking, the security networking. Let those who stay in Uzebu monitor what happened in Uzebu. Let those who stay in Ewato monitor what happened in Ewato. And those who stay in the creek, like my brother here, a warlord, also monitor what happened there. And they must also be very disciplined in terms of their working arrangements. Because some of us, we are typical Nigerians. Some of us have that tendency to be nefarious, to be callous and infamous. Because
any person you empower, anybody who is on uniform in this country, they see themselves as a demigod. You know, that's the reason why when my brother was also talking about the man that was arrested with a gun. You know, if you see somebody who is a forest guy, this is already on uniform, they are dangerous. That is my fear about those arrangements. Once, as a scout boy, you are on uniform, you are dangerous in this town. Now, you are talking about a vigilante. You understand me? That is also on uniform, and is having a gun. If they are not properly tailored and managed, there will be something else. I was in a party some time ago. People were shooting guns, and I asked what's going on. They said they are vigilantes. I said, no, we are not in a jungle. We cannot continue like this. And I called one of them. Is it because you are a vigilante, that's why you are shooting guns? Who are you pursuing? What are you doing? He said it's one of their members who lost his father. And so what? Is that why you supposed to be shooting? I picked my gun, I called the security, and I said, no, we cannot take this. That before you know it, we snowball to another level. One, some of them, with due respect, are under the influence of alcohol. Yeah. And some of them smoke anything smokable. You cannot expect a government that is serious to just allow them, give them a full mandate to be operating. And that's the reason why I believe, with what you have said, my brother, some of us will take it upon ourselves to investigate the matter in our little capacity. Also communicate to the government. A man that is working so hard, a volunteer who have devoted his life, putting his life at risk.
It's not being paid.
I call that an independent risk. Yeah. For him to be arrested based on on his strong conviction that is working for the public. My brother, I cannot draw a conclusion on that now because I believe something is wrong somewhere.
Yeah, which of course we are not privileged to.
Something on that side of it. I would personally, with my network, also want to investigate this matter.
Okay, sir.
You understand? Okay. Other than that, therefore, we believe something has to be done. Okay, but I must advise you on this. Let your members be more organized.
We're organized, and we're federal bodies.
They must be more organized in terms of even presentation and disposition. It's very relevant. Yeah. You understand? Because it takes the grace of God for a man with a gun to be humble. It takes the grace of God. My brother here will tell you, as a warlord, that when you are with a gun at times, I know people within my street, the bourgeois who have gone. At times on ceremony, you see them shoot you unnecessarily. You know, they get those sand, and you know what I mean. And now somebody who is in the forest coming back, just smoking and drinking, what do you expect? Okay. You understand me?
Well, let me pass it there and bring Don Ben Doyega on board the conversation. Are you satisfied with the level of response? Because I heard Harrison Zeko saying that on the part of government, a lot is being done, but what is lacking is the fact that what is being done is not being translated into what we can feel, what we can see, what we can hold. Are you in tandem with that?
Well, there's no problem, my brothers. You people have said it all. I also want to chip in some little thing because I believe in history. 2015, people said the present president of this country, Muhammad Buhari, I want to say anything without fear or favor. I respect the position of this country. But if things are going wrong, we have to take people by the own. Okay. He said, the monkey and the baboon soak in one blood. And that is the trend of things. You can't recruit people at the end of the day you say you want to. You promise them a lot of things. And if you don't fulfill your promise, then use other dimension to get what they want. Because you have already signed a treaty with them. That is the immediate alarm and the explain. When you talk about the state, what happened recently with our father, our military leader, it's so appalling. Like what my comrade said, people have died. So many lives have been lost. But there was no proper attention given to those lives that were lost. But one thing in life is the law of karma. It also snowballs to the homes of the riches so that they also feel pain. Though I sympathize with him, but they would have also have that mindset, the visitation that they have visited this our father, they should have extended it to those that lost their lives also, in far north, the middle belt, and people from the south side. One thing that is going on in this country is there are people who are sacred cows when you talk about treating people equally on criminal issues. Mop-up arms were done in this country. Arms were mop-up, but the arms were not properly mop-up. To the extent of making some persons that you are free to carry arms, but those that you call second-class citizens will mop up their arms. So the only thing that I say in this moment is self-defense. Whether vigilante or whatever thing, if you don't have yourself, agitation for yourself, you have to defend yourself. That is why in advanced countries, guns have been legalized because of this kind of thing they see. So the man that is coming to him will respect himself. That this man I'm going to meet, he also has what I have, even bigger one that I have. On my own take is that a warning has been sound, just like the quote of Wole Soyinka. He said, he which, if President Muhammad Buhari would have lost that at the poll, it's a regret. And when Jonathan was there, he was crucify and cut off his head because he's a rubber stamp by the president. A lot of things were said against Jonathan. But now the vicious circle is going around. So how do you qualify it? Recently also, Obasanjo signed a warning. He has been part of the military. He's a military man. And he knows the trend of things that are working in the military component. He said the president has a mission to Islamize this country. People that are in higher authority, including people from Afenere, crucified him that he's a blatant liar. But look at what is happening. Has it not come to reality? Recently, the Omonoba, the great Omonoba, said camps are being built around the Edo State communities. A sound warning to the president that please, my domain is being infiltrated by Fulani herdsmen, building camps around my kingdom. So so when you see those things, there are pre-informed things that need to be addressed critically. But on my own is that I have to tell the youth that they are too weak. Sorry to say that. If you see somebody want to put hand in your eyes, you put it double in his eyes without fear of favor. Because if you are weak, if you are in a comfort zone, what happened in our road can equally come and happen when you are sleeping. You can see people being maimed on their sleeping beds in Plateau State, in Benue State, even now in Katsina State, in Adamawa State. It's gradually coming in. And sorry to say, the statistics of influence of strangers that are coming to this South region, we are not taking inventory of what trailer. People come inside and say they are motorcycle riders. No, they are surveillance people. They come in the prison that they are Okada riders. They won't end me. They are infiltrated in the Kaman Barak, in Aduawa, in so many places. You saw people can a small boy have one or two, close to 200,000 to acquire a motorcycle. It's not possible. So there's a cartel going on. And that cartel is what they want to use in fulfilling what they have planned. In order to achieve this thing, let us cause tension and see if these people will do a reprisal. You know, those people that when you do a reprisal, they do a counter-reprisal. That is their style of operation. Yeah. And if they are doing this thing, they know where to touch. Since we are doing the underdog, we are doing the less privileged, those that are not important in the society, there's no move. So let us touch the big wings if they will order for reprisal. So there they will come in and say it's war. So we war, we conquer them, that is why we are going to take over their lands. So that is a pre-planned thing for them to do. Because the Ruga, they don't work, the ranching, they don't work, or the acquire of land, they don't work. So let us use veto power. That is what is happening.
But there are those who feel that some of these things you're saying, they are mere speculations that cannot be substantiated.
My brother, let me tell you, from the intent of the heart, but these things have been formed by top persons like Olusegun Obasanjo, who is close to them. He has been part of the military. He has been a military head of state, and he also become a president, a civilian president for 8 years. So he knows all of them in the family, and he knows their plans.
Okay.
You understand me? Okay. And to also portray what I'm saying is this. When you arrest a Fulani herdsman that kills somebody,
yes,
right? Order will come from above. Yes. That matter will be swept under the carpet. Those that killed, murdered quietly recently in Edo State, where is their case files? That's what we're talking about. So in communities, if I may suggest, I'm also trying to give the vigilante man. You can't come to my clinic and go anyhow. We'll smoke you. Because if you cross the red line as a 9-year-old agitator, I will smoke you. Because I'm in my comfort zone, I'm sleeping on my bed, you are coming to disturb me in my water side. Then I will tell you that you cannot train me in that place. It's not possible. So what I want to also advise my brother here, if you are doing anything concerning your vigilante, take inventory and statistics of the boys you are using to do this job. It's very important. And also work with traditional institutions that are in your various communities, in your domain.
Yeah,
because the traditional institutions, they have a very key role to play.
Yes, we are doing that.
You must have to apply that wisdom. And any vehicle that is coming into Edo State, you are vigilante. Whether you are carrying cow, some of them that are carrying cow are actually carrying human beings.
There's gone inside.
In their big trucks. You can see people when you wake up the next morning, you see about thousands and thousands of people in your street. Where are they coming from? In those days when a stranger comes to a village, a community, they're taking them from my friend, where are you coming from?
Yes.
If you don't have clear identity, they will say, go back, leave our community. Don't come and infiltrate our community with hoodlums and people that will come and, cause problems in our, system. So it snowballs. I also commend the Edo State government for the little that it's doing. 100 billion naira, that is amount of 360 $100 billion is not small money. The amount of 360 billion naira, even more than that, was given to the military components to fight Boko Haram and other terrorist organizations in this country. As it commensurate with what they are spending. And this money is coming from my own oil. And you want me to be sad with this kind of something that is happening? You are doing components of multinational companies. Our people are not working there. You think we are happy? We are only keeping quiet. We are watching.
Okay, let me pause you there. If you just join us, it's TMI Monday, and focus on the program today is to X-ray the current security challenges in the country with these frequent attacks and killings, kidnappings, and deaths, particularly on our roads. What can be done to address this issue? But like we always say, views canvassed, expressed here are entirely those of the ones expressing them. They're never the views of the station. Now, something someone said that struck me reminds me of the man Alfred Nobel, who instituted the Nobel Peace Prize. The guy was a very weak man, but very intelligent. In the days of yore, he was so weak that he couldn't even afford the bride prize. And so no woman was ready to date him or marry him. But he sat down one day and designed dynamite. At that time, what was in vogue was blasting of rocks. And blasting of rocks is something that saps your energy. So it was really meant for those who are strong, mighty, and powerful. And they were making all the monies then, until Nobel designed and invented dynamite. You just put a dynamite on the rock, you blast it open, and then before long, he became the richest man at that time. And you can trust the women folks. They like to go to where the money is, and they were flocking on around him. And eventually, before he died, he donated that money to charity. But he was accused of inventing a weapon of mass destruction. But he was of the opinion that, well, it's not a weapon of mass destruction. What I have invented will make the world safer, because if I have my own dynamite and you have your own dynamite, you are unlikely going to attack me because I have. That seems to be what's playing out in world politics, world power politics, with the nuclear armament and all of that. I'm sure it was in that regards that one of our panelists here said this explains why in the US gun is licensed. But we also know that in several states in the US, we've seen killings in their hundreds by single individuals. We just take a rifle, go to school, and then start killing people. That has been on. But we haven't gotten to that stage. The proposal for many analysts is that let's deploy the localization of security to be able to challenge and confront this menace. But it looks like those in charge of governance are unwilling to deploy this. For example, I recall, I think sometimes last month, there was a breaking news that came that the government of the day has approved state police. I mean, there was a breaking news that went viral. But just before the end of that day, the government came out to say, well, we never said that. I mean, we commissioned an inquiry into this security challenge or challenges, and the guys came back to give a report to us. And one of the key component parts of that report was to institutionalize state police. We haven't approved state police. So, gentlemen, back to you guys. We are saying now, from the consensus of opinions expressed, that the way to go is state police or localizing security, maybe using vigilante like Brother Victor Idonije has talked about. But how do we refine that process just to ensure that is efficient, is effective, and the targets simply set, they are met?
Well, it's very simple because
Is it that simple?
it's simple. The reason why I'm saying it is that, like I said before, that there is no way you can get security who do not understand a particular terrain to come and actually do what they are supposed to do. You find out that no matter the amount of money government put into all these different security agencies, like what the just state government have done, they have given their cars and all that. The people who are there, they have a mission. As I speak with you, the security issues are not that they are business. Most times, people they park on the road, they are checking vehicles, collecting money.
Collecting money from your boys.
This is the problem. So, first of all, the security agencies, they will need to do a surgical operation on these different security agencies. They let us come back home. If within Edo State here, we are saying within this local government, we want to do what we call state police or work with the vigilante. We look at the people that live within those environments. We know ourselves. When we were growing up, we know those people that their ways were not clear. I remember when we were growing up, somebody they stole a tape in my area. We know what we did.
Tape.
We moved a tape. It was, I think, 4 battery tape.
Okay.
Somebody came to remove it from our house.
Yes.
And I gathered some people together. We moved. We went to the other street. At the end of the day, we went to meet one of the boys because we know that his way is not clear. After more trade, and the guy took us to where he kept the tape.
So you got it back?
We got it back because we know that when they come on this issue, he is very good in that area.
Yes.
Why? We're able to do that because we know ourselves. In my secondary school days, in Obewale Grammar School, there was a time there was issue of insecurity. People come to the class, they break down everything there. They stay in the jungle. They have a big forest within the school we call jungle. And the principal then, Mrs. Akide, the woman who entered the jungle, she couldn't wait at the time. She called the task when she was going to bring in new prefect. She named somebody to become what? Jungle prefect. One of my friends there, he was the jungle prefect. The woman had done our feasibility study. He knew that the guy was very powerful. And when the guy came, the guy called some of us. He don't say, don't give me work now. So we need to sanitize this place. When he tried, there was reduction. Some person was also trying to confront him. Yeah. And the guy went back to the principal and said, no, ask people to be, let me be the team leader. And the woman had to bring in some group of guys from different, we became 7. And they entered there. That was how they sanitized that place. Because the day there was some, when that guy stand at the front of the play with the bossing row, you don't need to call, you go back by yourself. He was a student to bet, he was a different student. When he stand there, when you are coming, you will go back on your own. So if we narrow that to our security agencies here, the local vigilante, they will do much. If the state police issue is not coming on board now, can't we help ourselves? Let us bring these people together, let us train them. Let us people that we know, work with traditional rulers, bring in your people. Yes, the issue of the CDA have been abolished, but some persons were a key actor then. Why can't we bring some of these people together, train them, get their profile, their information, then train on the use of gun, and give them guidelines? You are not expected, like my leader says, to go on a function and begin to shoot. If you do, they will arrest you. Yeah. And then work with the police. At the end of the day, we mark them to these different areas. That Okada junction there, that every time you hear different information, the people they take them to the bush. Community is around that place. That forest is owned by a community. It's owned by traditional rule. Are you telling me that those foreigners have known that place more than the people who live there? It's not true. If they train them, they also give them AK-47 license. They know they are working with the police. Then they go there. So those who are coming don't have 2 heads. You that is coming to kiss you, don't know that your own head, you need to keep it at home. And you find out that we begin to come out of these menace little by little. If we allow this thing to just say that let us put our hands and watch, it's going to be a problem that in another 10 years, nobody will want to even stay in his house and close his eyes and sleep. Because if you watch around GRA, you see some of these northern people, all the security men around there, they are all these foreigners. Many of them put them in there without even profiling them, they don't even know them. And we have seen a situation where they will kill the owner of the house. The one that happened to go, they bomb, they kill the woman, they put fire in the house, thinking so that they will not say it's fire. How can you bring in people you don't know? We are using it to do many jobs. They now understand the whole place. And they already know where you live, your children are at home. So we must go back to the good old days, When vigilante was vigilante, when people gather together after training them, they'll put themselves together. They work with the police. The police will know their station. They will have a station where they meet, where they dispatch them from. And they will be giving information to police. The area where the police cannot go, they will go. They will also work with the military. Because this issue of pulling billions of naira to this whole issue, you are bearing a mission, you are doing at the end of the day, down to the local level. We are not actually seeing you fighting this insecurity the way it ought to be. Yeah. Yes, my brother said that it's because the daughter of a very known Nigerian, maybe something will happen.
Unfortunately, who has also been at the
forefront
condemning these activities.
It is normal, you see.
Fosaranti has not been quiet, has not been silent on this issue.
It's quite unfortunate.
Yes,
you see, there's nothing you can do about it. When you are in a war front, you cannot begin to ask people who born you or identify anybody. It's a war. The man that is coming to attack, you want to do it and run away. So nobody cares. Everybody is at risk. Yes, the great people are going there to just sympathize them and all that. Yeah, they said all animals are equal, but some are more equal than so. That was something that the state government have not also paid condolence visit to some persons that were killed. The ones that were killed, the deputy governor went there. The one who called, we have been doing all this. But because this person is a prominent person, there's no way you can take it from that person. It must go in that direction. But all we are saying is, how do we come out of this? Let us go, let's localize it. Let's come back home. Let's bring our people together. Let us train them. We know them very well. At the end of the day, by the time they are moving, community members know them. The Enigye know them. Ojo know them. Police know them. They will match all these areas. And when they say there is problem in one location, everybody will go there, call the police, and take over that place. Let me see how they will be able to overpower the police and also overpower the vigilante. So the by and large is that the interest of doing this sincerely should be there. If we leave the end of our security agency, my brother is going to be an exercise in futility because they are not sincere. Okay. The issue of money in our security agencies is a big issue. If money comes now, they will compromise. I can tell you.
Let's say some.
Some, I'm not saying no, most of them.
All right, let me come to Victor. What is the capacity of vigilante, as you mentioned earlier, is a registered organization with headquarters in Abuja and Kaduna, to confront, for example, the menace associated with herdsmen. For example, in the Benin-Lagos Expressway, there has been a frequent spot for attacks, kidnappings, and killings. A young lecturer from Benin University of Kanda lost his life on that route. And then, of course, not too long ago, by Okada Junction, there was a report of a woman who was also killed.
Yep,
one of the
last week.
I mean, that there was a lot of protest in that. So, are you saying there are no vigilantes in those areas?
We have. I've said it earlier on. Our problem is logistics.
Logistics.
Yes, we just. I want to salute the sagacity of Ikubaha chairman. Okay. 2 months ago, he called for a meeting. I was there, the state intelligence officer of the state. You know, when he meeting, all the DPOs in Ikubaha, they were there, and the SS boss, she was there too. You know, we talked a lot. So he promised, you know, to empower our boys over there, and to put 20. He budgeted for amount and employ 20, 30 boys or so into the payroll. Okay. He did a very good. Of
the council.
Yes, Ikubaha. I want other local government to do same too, because we don't have a vehicle. I told you earlier, we use our individual cars for it ourselves. We are a voluntary organization, and I want to add here, our sister station here. State, Delta State, the vigilante has turned to be corrected. They're using pump passion. The state government provided for them.
Bought it for them?
Yes, pump passion.
As
and
part of the logistics for them to be able to do
that. When we went for a burial there, we called the state commandant. They came to meet us by the border post, Edo and Delta. We went together. We were perplexed. They're using pump passion. But Edo State, everything is politics. Sorry for me to say this. Because most of these people, you want us to go and fight, is their boys that are using the joint politics. Okay. So it's like when, you know, it's like when giving full power they are scared we may run after their boys.
And bring them down.
Yeah, bring them down. And that is our aim. We have aim. We are a different vigilante body entirely. We are not local. We are all over the 36 states. That place you just mentioned.
Yes.
Yes. We have boys there. Ovia North, yes.
Southwest.
The commander
there
is doing a very good job. Last week,
with all the report that we're getting from there,
yes,
he's doing a very good job.
Yes, me is doing a good job.
Doing his best.
He's doing his best because he's not being empowered. We don't have single barrel. When policemen do arrest, just dagger, they will arrest us, and they want us to go and fight crime. What they normally do with us is this: they use and dump us, you know. There was an incident that happened at Akoko Edo. The DPO, my boys, arrested some suspects. The DPO told them that the CP wants to see them. He booked an appointment for Tuesday. You won't believe it. He took the suspect and the officers that stood somewhere without going to the bush, took them to CP's office. The boys now went there on Tuesday, well dressed, hoping that they're going to see the CP. You know, they were happy to see, maybe to air their view and maybe to ask them how it was done. They went there, they were told that, sorry, a call just came. We have taken them yesterday, Monday. Imagine that. It's not encouraging. We are not being encouraged by the police at all. They were senior brother, but they are claiming that ego stuff, you know, on their berets. That's kind of attitude. For us to work with them effectively, we should be recognized and stop embarrassing or harassing our officers. Because a little case, we do go to, at times, I stopped going to the station, police station. Our officer was arrested. They told us to bail him with 15,000 naira. I didn't go since then. Anybody that comes to police say, I don't go. I can't bail you. They will come out and tell you that is paperwork, bail is free. It's not, my friend, it's not free. It will never be free in this state, in the country.
What was the offense of your officer? What was the offense?
She went to they were somewhere, you know, they were sent on she's under my department. They were sent to a beer parlor to get some gathering for me. So a fight came up, you know. So the barman called the DPO, Tezame Road. All of them were packed. Including my officer.
Your officer, was he involved in the fight? Or it was just
everybody there, they were just packed.
Was he involved in the fight, or he was a victim of circumstance?
Victim of circumstance.
Okay,
I'll
pause you there. Yeah. Roy, there's something the Nobel laureate himself, I read it this morning, Professor Wole Soyinka, saying that the seeming lack of results coming from the efforts to fight insecurity in the country has undermined whatever achievement the present administration under President Muhammadu Buhari may have made. Do you subscribe to that?
Depend on, I think that is based on his own personal opinion, subjected to his own idiosyncrasy. And I don't have problem with it. It's one of those great personalities I have a serious regard for. You know, but notwithstanding, you know, consider I cannot be the mouthpiece, and I'm not the mouthpiece of the presidency. But as the voice of the commoner, I will tell you that things are not okay in terms of security arrangement in this country. The level of insecurity is overwhelming. Even very just now, the numbers of killings that have happened in Castina, and that is the whole state of the president. Then we are now beginning to wonder when and who is responsible for this kind of fashion. With the way Kaduna is under attack, God forbid that those states will never be attacked like that. And that is the whole state of the president. But I call for a deep sober reflection. That how do we find ourselves in this scenario? What I expect at this material time, people like Professor Wole Soyinka should be formulating a workable direction. As a statesman, you look at it and say, this is, I don't think Buhari need to book further appointment to see the president. He won't take it. Less than 24 hours.
Wole
Soyinka.
To book an appointment
to see the president. Less than 24 hours, he can do that.
Yes.
And he will be honored. Okay. You know, you don't go to press and raise issues that you are not supposed to raise. You know, in my little capacity, if I want to see anybody, I will write as I want to see. If they want to see me, they say, no, before now. And that's the reason why this discussion today, yours sincerely is very happy. Because we are able to say the way forward, the panacea is that to localize the whole system, the security arrangement and network. And my very brother here is a local honorable, a local administrator, a legislator. Therefore, he has to start with Oriedo.
We're already doing it.
I want to hear in another 72 hours.
We're already doing
this
it.
is what he's doing. Using Oriedo as a
We have not gotten there. I will tell you what we are doing in my word.
Because
we have not gotten there.
Because I am also in Oriedo. You understand me? And there are still terrain in Oriedo that are not being covered. And I hope he's aware. Therefore, we cannot continue to be blaming people who are the federal, they are not doing well. And we all know that insecurity happens at the local level.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, we take the grace of God for anybody to be able to ransack Aso Rock. But it's easier to go to villages. It will be easier for anybody to go to Hodwa. It will be easier for anybody to go to Omegbe. You know, when you consider those variables, those at the local level must also push. So let's walk away forward. And that's the reason why I will continue to emphasize it. The Honorable Iseko, let it be an issue of concern to you.
Okay.
So
now,
that
Iseko just told you that.
I will inform you the effort. I will inform you the effort we have made. I will inform you the effort we have made.
That question about Professor Wole Soyinka is the fact that in Nigeria, when things are happening, and our elder statesmen, they are not talking, the people use that as a point of blackmail. All right, that, oh, these things are happening, this person is not talking, that person is not talking, why is this person not talking? So a few years back, at so point, people rose up, they criticized former President Goodluck Jonathan, they said all kinds of things about him. So that's the reason why I'm asking.
These are methodology we have used before.
Yes.
You understand me? We use speaking out against former president. We can also use the same methodology on this. That's the reason why, as a statement, before you speak out on national issues, you must be able to reach out to the president. You understand? These are but
there's no way you can determine that he hasn't reached out.
If he reach out,
there's no way you can determine that he hasn't
reach out, we also know he reach out.
Definitely, we on social media.
He is now lamenting. You know, when some of us see that kind of lamentation, we are seriously bothered because people that have been placed there who are supposed to be directing the affairs of this country, you know, that they are not the people who are lamenting. It calls for a serious concern. And that's the reason why I say, well, whether he likes it or not, he said, man, we all have serious regard for him. And I also believe that the presidency has serious regard for him. You know, coming to be issuing a statement when you are supposed to confront the issue, it calls for a concern. Okay. If I have access to Harrison, I will want to meet him one-on-one, talk to him, then I will go and be releasing a person. The issue I talk about him is that go and do this. If after the affair is not doing this, I will also reach out to him. That before I will not come on air, I'm castigating him. And we also look at the Nigeria system, the Nigeria in us, in all of us. And when my brother here, you have been talking and I've been listening to you, you look at the level on how you try to personalize office. It's very dangerous, and I'm not going to be happy when people personalize office. When you can't see my boys, I begin to wonder, how do you have boys? These are people you operate on the same level you work. And those are some of the words I saw a commissioner was telling me, my boys, and I said, you don't suppose. You are being paid with taxpayers' money. At this person, you are on the same level. Maybe you are a commissioner of police, does not reduce the man to be your boy. You know, we must use a proper adjective so that the people who you are working on the same page, you also understand.
Okay.
You must believe, those who work with me in my office, I see all of us as partners. I don't see myself as a boss. We work together.
The discussion.
Of course, these are some of the issues. Yes. We always focus and we remain focused because we will not address the fundamental issue.
Yes.
These are foundational issues.
Right.
And that's the reason why the issue continues to. Anybody is uniform in Nigeria, the way manner they behave, you know what this is.
All right.
We must
that's a matter for another day.
Oh, okay.
It's a matter for another day. But let me get Don Pen Doega in here. Are you comfortable with the level of reactions that we have seen? I mean, the likes of Pastor Tunde Bakare, the likes of Professor Wole Soyinka, and several others have come out to condemn this action. But what's your greatest concern in terms of the level of response from government. Are we saying that Nigerian army that is renowned worldwide, the Nigerian police renowned worldwide, going out of the shores of this country for peacekeeping missions and other activities, and then we see them winning awards left, right, back, center, and other security agencies can't really tame these guys once and for all? Is this so difficult? Are we saying that with the latest technology? And by the way, talking about technology, you saw yesterday Nigeria played Algeria. If it was in the days of yore, there was no way Nigeria could have gotten a goal, because it would have been difficult for us to see that handball that gave us a penalty. That's technology, for crying out loud. This technology is available. What is going on? You were saying just now, well, you don't see the possibility of a stranger crossing the red line to come into your creek, and you do something to the person. Is this technology, or this is just raw talent, or is the Ogidiga of the Budu in the creek that you're, yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
We don't undermine the power of the Invisible Supreme God. That is one point.
Okay.
But I want to take on my brother first. He's a very good friend of mine, my brother too. In respect of our ethnic nationality, we are all brothers as far as Nigerian context is concerned.
Yes.
That is where it who's everybody. You know, in the military, I want to take on you first.
I'm available.
Jonathan is a president. He's not a local government chairman. He's not a governor. So the measure at which we abused Jonathan when he was in office, if somebody take on Buhari, he is not out of place. I have to correct you.
Okay.
Because one, if a president is not being criticized, whether positive or negative, he will not sit up. You will be comfortable that he's doing the right thing. So if I'm doing the wrong thing, if you don't criticize me, I will not identify where I'm making mistakes. So Wole Soyinka is 100% correct. I'm even expecting more from people like Tunde Bakare, Mbaka, who have been carrying all the crusade that Jonathan is a madman. You should not criticize me. You understand me? So those are the things. They are very, very germane and very important. Nobody, no president, as far as you're a president of this country, there are arms of government. The legislative arm, the executive arm, and also the judiciary arm. They have the same grade. And for crying out loud, there is no way a boy can be equal to his master in every organization. It's not possible. Even in the militants, we have hierarchy. We have commanders, we have GOCs, we have everybody here in the militancy. So also the Nigerian army component. And the reason why I think the army is a kind of being, feeling the Nigerian army, for God in heaven's sake, they are the best ground troop in the world. The Nigerian army.
Infantry.
Wonderful army in the world. But the army have what is called limitation. The army fire with command. The army don't just shoot. The army must have a command, a last command from his commander before he confront anybody. Even the terrorists that are shooting them, the commander must give directive before he fire. But the commander that is giving the command, what is his mindset? You have to take it from that area. Is the commander working to the actually that we are going to capture these people, or to the detriment of this country? Those are the commanders. So in every weaponry, every weapon fire, the commander has the last thing to do. And so the boys who are the battle-ready Nigerian army, they wait for the commander. There is no way an army man can shoot without the commander giving him directive to shoot. That is the discipline. That is where we talk about handling firearms. That is the difference between the trained military personnel and the vigilante. Because if you give a vigilante gun, he will say yes, because he and his wife, they are quarreling, we bring the gun and start threatening his wife. Those kind of things, they are not matured to handle guns. Okay. Even the militants, we are more disciplined. That is why we don't go and kill people unnecessarily. The Boko Haram and the Funali herdsmen, they are not disciplined. They just take drugs and they carry guns.
No, but there were cases of that happening with militants too.
In
the days of yore.
No.
There were several reported cases of that happening.
In militancy, let me tell you something, except those people who does not have the key agitation for the emancipation of Nigeria Delta. If you have the passion to liberate your people from being oppressed, to have agitation, to have your resources being controlled by you, and we come to the center and deposit whatever thing you have through federalism. That is what we fought for. Resource control and through federalism. So that everybody will have a sense of belonging, whatever thing is producing in its own zone and this thing, the case may be. So those are the things. We are well disciplined, we are well trained. In the area of the Nigerian security architecture, there are a lot of compromise. Because some persons who are in the big wings of this security system, they are gaining from this crisis. They are receiving a lot of returns from this crisis. Because if you really want to do a nice job as a security personnel, as you say, you want to do a nice job, the bush and everything, they are in our own confines in this country.
Yeah.
You have technology like the drone. You acquire drones. You acquire CCTV cameras. The money that is being siphoned from the Niger Delta, the oil processing money, is in billions of dollars every day. As far as the flow stations are burning, the oil is passing through the pipelines. Convert it to dollar. We know how much. If you are producing $2.5 million per day, you should know the amount of money that is entering this country. And the security vote is never mentioned. You know that security votes are being given to even state governors every month. The government has their own separate money, security vote. They are coming into this country apart from the special fund that is being allocated to security personnel. So their own is that let us sit on this allocation and eat fat, get this thing, and you give little to people who are in the front line of operation. If you are asking me to go and do frontline operation, and I see that you are my commander, you are living in choice houses, you are driving big cars, you are living big, and I that is facing this Boko Haram. Boko Haram, they are not children. They use guns that are more sophisticated, very powerful arms they use. So you are seeing that if not for the civilian JTF that is also complementing with the military at the front line of operation, I think they would have run this Nigerian army. But those people who understand Sambisa Forest, who understand the terrain, are also deployed in this area. So that is what the case study I have read, and I also want the government of Edo State to also imply that thing. Not Odo Edo State, the border town between Edo State and Kogi State is so porous. Because an incident happened when somebody is going Amroba's block route, whether Amroba's or herdsmen, and you call them, the block route, then somebody is passing, the police, they are just by the say, let the road clear first before. And you, the policeman that is being paid that taxpayers' money, you are saying let the road be free first. You cannot confront the armed robber.
I didn't know human beings like you. I didn't know human beings like you. And perhaps the logistics are not there.
The checkpoints are also there. There's what we call Joint Task Force, JTF. They are also there. So many military personnel. Joint Task Force, it has the Navy, the Civil Defense, the Nigerian Police Force, the Air Force, and the Nigerian military. 5 components of military operation, they form the Joint Task Force, JTF. Are you now saying that the JTF cannot confront an armed robber or a herdsman?
Yes.
It's appalling, my brother. So my own take is that the security architecture should be reenacted. They should reform it and also put in current gadgets like the CCTV and drones should be employed. If you are spending such a huge amount of money to buy security wares and say, yes, we are going to turn security, these persons, they are gaining a lot of things from this crisis. Because in war, if war don't come, there are some persons who will not sell weapons. There are some people who will not sell bullets.
Or granates.
Yes.
That
is it. We came from this crisis. But on my own, that is why I said it's self-defense. Because the Nigerian context today, they have now made us, who are commoners, to lost confidence in the security system. So it's self-defense. It's just like when my brother started saying, come, if you come and meet me, my child knows how to operate the gun. Just come and meet me. Because before you kill me, my child can rescue me. So it has come to that level. You have to help yourself. Even they say the kingdom of God separates violence, only the violence is taken by force. It's a clear statement. And it's still imbibing today from the scripture. And you cannot say, they say, if you can't help yourself, nobody can help you. It has come to that dimension. That is why I say that even this Wabainsiga operation is something that they are talking about. My brother, you cannot kill a policeman. If you see them, fierce-looking policeman, but with those gadgets, bulletproof helmet and everything, we still stand on the road. Are you a road safety officer? You are not a road safety. You are to go into the nooks and crannies of those states. Go deep into the communities. If you say that vehicle that they are giving to you is too small because of the height, let them give you healers, double prepared healers. You go into those nooks and crannies. By now, I feel that Wabainsiga would have used forest. If anything happens, they go on their own surveillance. And one thing is that there should be called information gathering technology.
Yes, no.
Local information gathering.
Yes. No.
Not when you are giving information to the police, you will now be the suspect.
Yes.
So some persons, they are shying away from those things too.
Intelligent
If not in the communities, we have people who can stand tall and say, come, this is what is happening. But some of them are afraid that if I go and submit myself that, CP or CPO, look at what is happening. The policeman will say, okay, you be in the front because you are the one who has the... He only gave you information that you have a plan B to invade those persons, but you are saying they should be in the front. Is he a policeman?
No.
So those are the areas that people are a little bit skeptical about. Okay. But my own take is that, by the grace of God, security issues are not things you see in public domain.
Yeah.
Right? So when you are in, the ESCO have their meetings.
Yes.
My own is that they should go into their comfort, their secret, and redesign the architecture. Like my brother that is here is saying, they should also call the local vigilante in everywhere, in all ethnic nationalities. So that when a stranger is coming, that is the key. If you don't identify a stranger that is coming into your place here, how did Gideon destroy the wall of Jericho? Yeah. And when they are spies, they walk around. Can you defend them? Say yes. Then God gave them wisdom, and the wall of Jericho crumbled. So also these persons are coming. They can be a cobbler, can be somebody who is a tailor. A lot of them are coming. They have sophisticated phones. They have a lot of things, right? They know how they carry their weapons around, because somebody cannot carry AK-47 and be walking on the street or put it in a public vehicle. It's not possible from the park. It's not possible. They bring those ammunitions by people who you don't even suspect. Then they come on their own and collect their weapons and operate. So those are the intelligent, because we gather information too. We are not sleeping. That is why I said, if you have your plan to invade us, we are also having our own plan to resist you.
To resist you?
Yes.
Or to confront you?
To confront you.
Okay, if you just join us, the TMI Monday. Now, on the last lap of our conversation on finding lasting solution to Nigeria's security challenges, let's re-examine the roles of the citizens, the private individuals, in finding lasting solution, because that seems to be a major challenge. Now, someone said a while ago that if you want to hire people to do menial jobs, you know those to hire, you know where to find them. If you go to the outskirts of the city, you find them there. All right, so what's happening to our own indigents? And then if you want a security man, a security guard, so to speak, we know those that people will easily, so are people security conscious enough to provide information, to provide support? Because I'm aware in some local government, the vigilantes are being sponsored by individuals. They put them on stipends. Yeah. Like he mentioned, Eastern South. So I remember he's a retired police officer, one Lawrence Odiase. Very vibrant, very, very, very forward thinking. They set up the structures there and reach out to sons and daughters of the communities to support the project. I believe a lot of support came. All right, so let's use you as a case study, because Roy has been on your case. He has been on your case on what you've been doing. So let's start in terms of the individuals, the citizens, the people taking ownership in this fight against insecurity. What's your assessment?
Well, let me just begin from our own ward. You see, I represent Oredo Ward 2, which is a very difficult terrain, very big. We have over 50 villages in my ward.
50 villages?
50 villages in my ward, so very big. And when you go through the airport road axis, to infinity, you have boundary with data. Let me just inform you now, very recently, about a month ago, that the Ojo ward of Okwa community and some of the vigilantes there were the one that rescued the Setrako boys that was kidnapped. When they got there, they called me. I told them, okay, that they should go to the police station at Ebo, the area commander, go and meet the DPO, which also do a follow-up. You see, in those areas...
So who were the people who kidnapped those Setrako staff?
No, they were kidnapped at Obagie area. I know they are working in that road linking Ikpobaoka from my ward.
By who?
This is not kidnappers.
No, what I'm asking because I'm aware that there's no longer militancy. General government, you know what I'm talking about. So we'll expect it's not
the people who kidnapped them were not arrested. They were in the bush. So they were able to locate them in the bush where they were kept, and they unloose them and they identify themselves, they take them to station. Okay. That was a huge success. In that area, we have a meeting where we meet all the youth within the community there. We call it the Yekogba Community Youth Association, which is being headed by Comrade Sonny Yamu, who is the president. In that area, he is the chief security officer there. If there are issues of security, he called. Then from there, I take up to the local the chairman from there to the station. So we do a meeting every fortnight. We meet. Even when I'm in government, I attend meetings to see what is on ground and they give feedback. So that's how we are taking care of those areas. Now, if you come back to the GRA side, there's a group we have within the GRA axis, we call it GC Youth. I'm a member. And also have the person in charge of security within the GRA, Diamond Agedo. So he works with the stations there. If there are issues, they report. I will go through to the station. That's why I found out that the issue of insecurity within those places are just kind of reduced. Yes, it's true. Logistics issues are also a problem. The local government, our local government chairman, our first security meeting ever since he came on board. But the other thing is that we have not been able, as a council, to empower them with finance. Because our local government there, we have issue of finance because of the huge teachers we have in our local government. By the time you reach teacher salary, we are having, so we are working with them, encouraging those who are volunteer. On his own, he have actually in my presence, on his own, bring money from the project to support some group within the Ward 1 axis there. Another councillor within the ward, they are also working with their DPO to name this issue of insecurity, and most especially the issue of a courtesan. This is the young best school, the councillor of Ward 5. It was part of all the arrangement in that place, going there, giving information back to the local government, and thereafter giving back to the government. So what we are saying is that the only way we can come out of this issue is when we localize security. We must localize it. Like in those Yekogba houses, no stranger can go in there. He knows what I'm talking about. Because the people who are within those areas, we have where we meet. If you have a stranger within your community, you will report. I can remember 2 persons were so arrested about a fortnight ago to make me. They were coming to the stop station to come and vandalize. And the name of the people were within the bush, they entered. The next thing they ran them, where are you from? They could not explain. And they were tied down. So they brought them to Upper Police Station, and we interrogated them, they were coming from other places, and they were even not natives. They are not from here. So even this issue of esme, those who carry their cow around, in those areas you don't move your cow around those places. Because they've refused to allow them to come in. Do you realize that even some of these people who want this cow, they bribe some of these sexual rulers to allow their cow to move around their community. They collect money from them. They collect money from them. So by the time you have collected money from these people, and their cow is not moving within your community, destroying crops and everything, what would you do? All those who are not careful, maybe. Who is the president of the Elders Forum, Antonio Sagi, His Royal Highness. He has refused. And within those axes, you cannot bring in anything else to those areas. Keep your money. He said, we don't need it. You cannot bring anyone to come to us, come and destroy our farm. No way. And that is why I found out that within those axes, you have not seen anything like that. We are bundled with data. It's a place that when you enter, you just move to infinity. It does not end. We are supposed to be at more risk. But it is reduced because when the people involved, they are willing to do the right thing. They are not after money. Our police compromise. Some traditional rulers also compromise because of money. You want to ride on jeep at the detriment of your people. So tomorrow they are going to blame government. I am not a councillor who live in Benin because I am from the civil society background, from NGO. I move around within my place. We have information when there are issues, they inform us and we take it up. We meet with them. I live with them. I have never stopped attending meetings. So nobody will not tell me that I've lived a different life. So what we are trying to say is that the only way we can come out of this, it is we that will do the security for ourselves. Take ownership and also try to fight back. Because what you take for effort to share, when you fold your hands and wash, somebody cannot be beating you and you just keep your hand and you don't do anything. My son came back from school, he said the classmate beat him. I said, what did you know? Did you beat him back? And the boy kept quiet. The following one I took him to school, as soon as this boy came down from the car, he just rushed the boy. Me, I have even forgotten. I what did you say? Did you know? You said I should beat him back yesterday. You can imagine exactly where we are finding ourselves. I just said it casually. So why did you not fight back? The boy kept quiet. The following morning, as soon as he come there, he ran after the boy.
Okay.
So we'll come out of it.
I just want to say, just want to appreciate His Royal Highness Obade of Ugbekun community. Initial. I met him one time and I was discussing this issue with him about this herdsmen tag and stuff like that. And he said, yeah, in my community, we don't have this nonsense. That's what he called it. We don't have this nonsense.
It's total nonsense.
Because we knew that the moment we give them land, that's when the problem will start.
Yes.
He said, I don't need their money. All right. So what I did was to tell them, look, we don't need your money. You can't stay. If you want to stay, these are the terms of reference. All right? And we've not heard such a thing in that community. I'm saying this because there have been accusations and counter-accusations about the complicity of some traditional rulers in this matter. And that's why I raised the issue of ownership by citizens on this insecurity challenge by way of finding lasting solution. What's the level of cooperation? Let's get your thoughts.
I was opportune 3-4 months ago. I drove down to after 9 for a bit. There's a village there. So I drove past, I saw cows, you know. I parked my car for a very long distance. I walked down. Because I was born and brought up in the north, I speak Hausa very well.
Okay.
And this Boko Haram state, I schooled there, I stayed for 12 years.
Okay.
So I went there, I met them. You won't believe what I met there. I saw some youths negotiating.
Belong to the civilian JT.
Yes. I'm about going there, but I'm not being pushed down. So I won't say that. So I was disappointed. They were negotiating how to buy cow, the youth.
Okay.
Cow, they were negotiating 30,000-40,000. They said they have occasion doing. And I interrogated them, I was talking with them. You know, they said they'll be working with the S-men in the sense that they provided land for them.
And then they give them cows.
Yes.
Maybe at cheaper rates too.
The answer might even come into a corner that, do I want to buy a cow? I say yes, but they should go first. And I say, okay, we're discussing, we're speaking answer this time, you know. And I told them, I want to buy a cow. They say, how much am I budgeting? I say, well, I don't know, but let me see the sizes. I say, this one, say I don't like it, you know. I said, let me go forward and check. They said, no, I'm not going there. I said, why? They said, that is their camp. Their boss is there. I said, okay, I want to buy and pay. They said, no, I'm not going there. I should pay right there at the junction there. I was suspecting that camp, you know, is a camp for such things. And when you say Malam around, these Fulani S-men around, you know, around bushes, and you see a cow covered, there may be harm there.
And the only way you can know is when you probably do a raid on that place.
Because I've gone there alone. You know, I told my state commandant that was going there. He said I should go. He said, Victor, okay. He said, okay, you speak Hausa. I can cope. I went there alone. So I did my investigation. So I gave a report, you know, to him. The police, I talk more on the police because we are not being encouraged at all. Okay. You know, we have not been encouraged.
We're hoping that they are watching, they are listening. Maybe when you reach out to them now, that encouragement will come. Roy, citizens' participation, ownership in the fight against insecurity.
Of course, we must take our destiny in our hand. I've come to that level now that I don't even believe in the principle of citizenship. I believe in the principle of indigenous. As an indigenous, you know, you are more bothered. You know what I mean? As an indigenous, yes, as an indigenous, you are more bothered. As a citizen, you are not bothered. You know, I believe as an indigenous, like what the Honorable have just said. You know, the names he mentioned, some of us have also took upon ourselves to also investigate some of those things. I met with some of the person he also talks about, the Enoge of His Royal Highness, the President there, Sonny Yamu. These are very people different from the rest. You know, in terms of negotiating, they want to see some of their properties out to these men. You know, you can see the attitude to put down. They are not willing because of the interest of their people.
Yeah.
But in some community we visited, we see how the traditional willingly overtook how they can release them now. They are not looking at tomorrow. You understand me? And then you begin to wonder. And that's the reason why I was also very happy when you mentioned the Enoge of Ubego. If you recall when we were going on, we go there, they have this, the local cow there. I think they are sitting there. Therefore, there is nothing you will be telling them about cow that they don't. You cannot bring anything new about cow that the Enoge will not be able to tell you.
Yes.
As at, you know, at that level. These are some of the traditional rulers who are seeing tomorrow. And some of them, they are not also looking at tomorrow. They are inserting their immediate benefit.
Yeah.
Once you are able to convince that every Christmas will be giving you 2 cows, it's carried away.
Yes. Okay. All right. Right. Engineer Doben, yeah. Last one from you on this ownership by the indigenous. You said indigenous.
Indigenous movement.
Now, in this fight.
My take on it is very simple. The youths of these communities, they have to take the bull by the horn. If an elder is compromising, expose that elder, no matter how highly placed he is. Because if an elder is bringing doom to your community, the elder that is very close to his grave want to leave everlasting pain for the upcoming generation, I think that elder should be exposed.
Okay.
That is my take on that.
Okay. All right. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for the thoughts that you expressed in the course of these analysis, looking at the security challenges bedeviling our nation on ways we can proffer solution. Of course, it's a multi-stakeholder approach that we need to deploy. All hands must be on deck if we must find a lasting solution in addressing this problem. That's the way to go. And there must be synergy between all the security agencies as well as local vigilante. Of course, we've established in this program, as is operational in other parts of the world, that security is everybody's responsibility. It's really a bottom-top approach, not a top-bottom approach if we must find a lasting solution. I want to say big thanks to all our panelists. Don Ben Doyega, many thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Roa River, thanks for
Thank you
coming.
for having me.
Victor Adams, I appreciate
Thank you, sir.
Harrison,
Oh, I
thank you so
appreciate
much.
you.